Hey, everybody, this is Masani from Masani Live. And basically, I'm really just testing out this YouTube platform. Also, I wanted to finish, someone had asked me a question about embracing my gray locks and how do I do that. And it's not, um, I can't really answer that. It's in the, it's wholeness. It's like basically for me, how I receive that question is me accepting my being, who I am. So my gray hair is definitely a part of me. It's something that I have worked hard for to get to this point. So my gray hair is something that I totally embrace, and also just having my locks and just growing my hair in a very style that really works for my texture of hair without having to really put my hair through a process and really just destroy the follicle. So this is really just natural for me. Now I'm hearing a lot about. This is actually my second time growing my locks. I had locks before when I was in college. I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and I must have been about 20 when I first started my first locks, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was back in the 80s. So now everybody has a lot of locticians and stuff. Back then, it was really just the rosters, and basically the rosters just let their hair go freestyle. Now that's what everybody's calling it now, freestyle. Basically, it was just like you just kind of let your hair do what it's gonna do, and you kind of just rock with it, you know. And so with that being said, back in the 80s, unless you was a musician or an artist like Basquiat, you really couldn't get no job with no locks. Nobody was hiring anybody with locks. I knew a couple of cats that I went to college with. They end up cutting their hair so they can get a job. And I was, I did have locks, but I used to vent on the street and sell my jewelry on the street. So right down there in the East Village, St. Mark's Place. So I made a living off of really, and I wasn't paying that much rent when I was in college. I made bits and pieces off of selling jewelry, like wire jewelry, on the streets of New York, even on the West Village. I was in the West Village, and that's how I really just really escaped having to cut my hair. But then I actually cut it because I was not maintaining it, and it was really when it was growing. Um, I was younger then, and I didn't really maintain it. I didn't really know what I was doing, and so it had gotten dirty, like inside the core of the lock. It was a lot of dust. I used to crash anyway when I was younger. Like I had a lot of lint on my sheets, the lint got in my hair, the lint entwined with the hair, and it wasn't happening. It wasn't really looking too groomed as that, and so I just cut it, and I just also with that being said, I cut it for that reason. And when I first started growing my locks in the 80s, I had just stopped perming my hair, so I didn't really cut the perm hair out. I just went right from a perm and just let the new growth lock. So it was like a perm and a lock. So the hair wasn't really the texture wasn't really, and then the perm hair was falling off, and it was just the new growth was coming. It was coming strong, but then again, just being a kid, just being 20 and kind of just hanging out and just hanging anywhere. Um, it just basically lint. I had a lot of lint, so I had to cut it. So I cut it for that reason to maintain some type of just keeping it nice and maintained and clean. It wasn't really all that clean. I just kind of just like since it was locked, I just assumed that it would take care of itself, and I didn't really think too much about my hair. I did wash it, but it had so much lint in the core of it that I just decided to cut it. It wasn't really um, something to my liking. It was time to go. And also with the perm, I had definitely messed up my follicles with the perm. That I had a lot of um, spots that was not growing any hair. So I used to cover it up with the new growth hair that I had around it. So 10 years, I was bald for 10 years. I didn't have any hair for 10 years. And so I just recently, about 3 years, Not even 3 years. I think this is yeah, like 2.5 years. So far my locks are like 2.5 years, and I do wash it and take care of it now. I don't count my locks, and as you can see with the grays coming in, also I do have a tendency to twist it, and it's like a nervous thing when I'm talking or somebody or when I'm thinking. I'll start twisting my hair. So with that being said, my locks go through a lot. The buying over the counter oils and everything. I do put oil in my hair, like coconut oil or some, yeah, basically coconut oil, but I don't do it every day. And when I do wash my hair, because I'm in Belize, and I do go by the lake and swim, and the water is different because we catch rainwater here, and we kind of use the rainwater. Basically, I kind of use the rainwater to bath with, so it's really um, as natural as you get. So I don't really have a lot of buildup in my hair. So I kind of just like let it be. But I do take care of it as opposed to when I do when I was younger. Now, as far as embracing my gray, I do embrace my gray because I embrace me. My gray and me are one and the same. There's no separation. I'm really cool with getting older. In fact, I'm more confident now than I was when I was younger. So with that, I have totally embraced who I am, what I am, and where I'm, and what's up, where I'm, and whatever. I don't really do the label thing, but if somebody wants to label me, that's really on them. I don't really take on other people's energy when it comes to when people are processing their stuff. And, I'm like that. So I don't really, when someone sees me and whether they see me as beautiful or my locks or this, it doesn't really phase me because I know who I am. So, that I'm not in my 20s anymore where I'm looking for validation like that. So I think that comes with age, and you know what I mean? And I think for me, it's really sexy when somebody really just embrace who they are. I find older people when they do, or people my age, much more mature, that dye their hair, I don't find that attractive. Like if I was in the dating scene, would I date somebody who is constantly dyeing their hair and going through the whole thing of, the whole, and not really comfortable in skin? Nah, I wouldn't. I would. It's like at this particular point in time, I have to be by myself. I don't really need to just take on somebody else's stuff because it kind of slows me up. Label it as you will, but I'm more comfortable in my skin right now. So give thanks. And I just wanted to answer that question about how I embrace my gray is I embrace me and all that comes with me. So I really just love my essence and I love who I am and I love where I'm where I'm at right now. So that's that's what's up. So for all you people out there that are working on your journey, welcome. And for those who are still in the matrix and they're trying to figure out their stuff, um, you know, more power to you. I've been not judging. I'm just saying I totally get where you're at because I was there. So I'm just not there anymore. So with that being said, I hope I answered your question. And if you have any more questions, like I said, if I didn't answer it thoroughly, I think I more than I do think I did. I feel I did. But otherwise than that, that's it. I'm signing off. So everybody have a really, really good evening. I'm about to go make me a hopefully take some vegan. I'm gonna make a vegan meal, like raw vegan meal, like some coconuts and some plantains and some kale. Make like a kale salad. Slice up some plantains on the side and then I'll take some coconut, grind it up, and make like a fiber, like almost like rice. What you guys use as rice, I use coconut. So I'm out of here, about to go make something to eat. So Embrace you. Peace.